officer. Joining me now, Mark O'Mara, criminal defense attorney, Ariva Martin, legal commentator, and Harry Houck, retired New York Police Department detective. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. You can understand the family is grieving right now. Yeah. But Mark, how can this be no one's fault?
It really isn't. It is a gross insensitivity, and I know Harry's not going to like this, but I think it was an abuse of his authority, abuse of his power. We have got to start realizing that cops, if they're going to maintain the respect that they have to maintain and therefore be able to do their job, simply cannot act like this. What really happened in this case, first of all, she was pulled over because she got out of the way of this officer but didn't put her blinker on. That is absurd in and of itself. But what really happened was he didn't like the fact that she said, "I'm not putting out my cigarette," when he told her to. And that is not a lawful command of a police officer. And that was the moment that this thing changed. It became his testosterone and his ego against her. She never should have been taken out of that car.
Did anyone break the law here, Mark?
Well, when he took her out of the car without probable cause for an arrest, yes, I think he violated his conditions of being a police officer, because he doesn't have the independent right to just arrest anybody he wants. He has to arrest only based upon probable cause. Where was the crime there? He made up the crime because she didn't comply with his request to put out a cigarette. That is not a lawful demand.
Go ahead.
Right?
Sorry?
You know, a summons is in lieu of arrest, so he did have probable cause to make an arrest because, you know, it's an officer's choice. It's an officer's choice whether or not he wants to make an arrest or issue a summons.
For what event? For the blinker?
Yeah. But I mean, that's not what he
cannot arrest for a blinker.
No, but that's not what he arrested her for at the time.
Right.
He asked her to get out of the vehicle. She would not get out of the vehicle. Of course,
no. He arrested her for contempt of cop. He arrested her, and that is not a crime in any state. He arrested her for contempt of cop because he didn't like the fact that she wouldn't put out that cigarette.
You did say that she disobeyed. Did you say it became criminal or whatever when she disobeyed a lawful order when he said to get out of the car? No.
But the lawful order was get out of the car because I'm arresting you because you didn't comply with my order to put out the cigarette. You can't bootstrap. I can't say to you as a cop, do something that I have no legal authority to do. And then when I tell you to do it, you don't do it, I arrest you for not doing what you didn't have to do to begin with.
You know, legally, Mark, an officer can ask somebody to get out of the vehicle. Legally, they can do that, and you know that. And what happened is when he asked her, one second, I'll let you speak. And then when he asked her to get out of the vehicle, and she does not, and he opens the door and he starts trying to pull it, that's when she had allegedly assaulted him. She had assaulted him trying to get him out of the vehicle. You could actually see it through the window there. And then when she finally got out, it just kept on escalating and escalating and escalating. And he told her inside the vehicle that she was under arrest.
Okay, Ariva, none of this explains how she ended up dead.
None of this has anything to do with how she died in that prison cell. And listening to this, the piece before with her family and the attorney, and hearing that the prosecutors, these 5 prosecutors that were appointed, never spoke to this family, that is so troubling to me, Don. The prosecutors told us that this young woman committed suicide. So wouldn't they want to talk to her family and learn about what her mental condition was like before she took this lonely road trip by herself? Wouldn't they want to know what her condition was like leading up to these incidents? So not having had any conversation with her family begs the question to me whether there's been a thorough investigation and what that grand jury presentation looked like. And I can understand the family's frustration. We're now learning that they have to go into January, even though this videotape and all of this evidence apparently has been available for 5 months. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I literally only have 20 seconds left here. So anyway, Ariva, my question is the officer off the hook? Can the officer possibly face charges if you can do it in 20 seconds?
Well, they're telling us that he's not off the hook, that they're still investigating, and there's a possibility that charges are going to be brought against the officer that pulled her out of the car. And I agree with Mark wholeheartedly, without any justification.
Fault, not Miss Bland's fault.
It might be some department regulations you might have violated here, but there's no criminality at all in the police officer's actions.
All right, thank you guys.
Yet she's dead.
Thank you guys. We'll be right back.